Drawing the attention of the gathering against burning issue, the Prime Minister emphasized that atrocities against women and the safety of children were a serious concern in the society today. He further highlighted that many strict legislations were enacted for the safety of women in the country.
आज महिलाओं के खिलाफ अत्याचार, बच्चों की सुरक्षा समाज की एक गंभीर चिंता है। देश में महिलाओं की सुरक्षा के लिए कई कठोर कानून बने हैं। 2019 में सरकार ने फास्ट ट्रैक स्पेशल कोर्ट की स्थापना की योजना बनाई थी। इसके तहत अहम गवाहों के लिए डिपोजिशन सेंटर्स का प्रावधान है। इसमें भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट मॉनिटरिंग कमिटीज की भूमिका महत्वपूर्ण हो सकती है। इस कमेटी में डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज, डीएम और एसपी भी शामिल होते हैं। क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम के विभिन्न पहलुओं के बीच समन्वय बनाने में उनकी भूमिका अहम होती है। हमें इन कमेटियों को और अधिक सक्रिय करने की जरूरत है। महिला अत्याचार से जुड़े मामलों में जितनी तेजी से फैसले आएंगे, आधी आबादी को सुरक्षा का उतना ही बड़ा भरोसा मिलेगा।
In his address, Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud termed the district judiciary as the backbone of the judicial system and said it is a crucial component of the rule of law.
The quality of our work and the conditions in which we provide justice to citizens determines whether they have confidence in us and is a test of our own accountability to society. The district judiciary is therefore called upon to shoulder tremendous responsibility and is aptly described as the backbone of the Indian judiciary. The spine is the core of the nervous system. To sustain the spine of the legal system, we must stop calling the district judiciary as the subordinate judiciary. 75 years after independence, the time has come for us to bury one more relic of the British era, the colonial mindset of subordination.
And to discuss more on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent Vikas Sarthi. Good afternoon, Vikas. Now, as the Prime Minister also said that 75 years of the Supreme Court glorifies the mother of democracy, playing a key role in ensuring justice to the people. Recently as well, we've seen major changes in the Indian law system. How far have we come in terms of judiciary, its process, and also ensuring speedy trials to the people, Vikas?
Good afternoon, Deepika. Right, Prime Minister said that it is not the journey of Supreme Court alone. It's the 75-year journey of Indian democracy and the Indian Constitution. And in the past, we have seen that how Supreme Court came forward to protect our Constitution and our democracy whenever it came under attack. In fact, he also mentioned the emergency period. He said that at that point in time, also Supreme Court played a very important role in protecting democracy and the Constitution. He also said that despite the challenges of case pendency, as you just mentioned, that there are more than 400 crore cases are pending in lower courts. He said that despite these kind of challenges, by and large, Indian judiciary has confidence and trust of common citizen, even in the challenging times of like emergency. People express their trust and confidence in the Supreme Court and the High Courts as well, and it was also reflected in the several judgments of the High Court and Supreme Court during that particular challenging time. Apart from it, Prime Minister also mentioned about the growing cases of crime against women, and he said that though the government came with a detailed plan of fast-track courts in 2019, but still we need to improve that system. There are some committees, there are some monitoring committees, district level, which must be strengthened to function to ensure that these kind of incidents against women and child must stop immediately. Apart from it, he also mentioned that in the new legislation, in the BNS and BNSS, there have been provisions for stricter punishment for the people involved in crime against women and children. In fact, he also said that we have prioritized those cases over colonial issues like sedition and other those sections and those acts which were which were provided in the IPC as crime because of the colonial interest. So he also said that we have revamped our criminal justice system, and in fact he also urged to the higher judiciary, to the Supreme Court and the High Court, that some special training program must be convened for lower judiciary, for district court judges which were attending this particular seminar for next 2 days. He said that there should be a special program, a special training program for these judges to give them information, to enable them to understand the provisions and the fundamental idea of BNS and BNSS. So Prime Minister also expressed his thanks to Chief Justice of India for coming up with the idea of e-courts and for enabling IT services in courts as well. And Prime Minister also mentioned that in last year itself, the third phase of e-courts project has been cleared by the government, and as of now more than 8,000 crores have been provided for the higher judiciary for implementing IT services. Deepika.
And this is a very important point which you've just talked about, that from women's safety to the e-services, everything has been coming into play. Now let's also talk about the technology that has played a very important part, e-courts, the fast-track courts, and we also heard Prime Minister Narendra Modi just mentioning about e-summons as well. We've come a long way. This wouldn't be wrong to say that we've come a really long way when we talk about court system that was in place earlier with so much of paperwork, but now we've moved into paperless services as well, Vikas.
Right, Deepika. So starting from the Supreme Court, now today Supreme Court's whole functioning, whole working in the judges' chamber has been transformed in digital form. There are no paper books are supplied by the parties to the bench. Everything is available digitally. This particular formula is being implemented by the high courts as well, though not at that particular speed, but they are also implementing IT services in high courts as well. Apart from it, every document which is presented before the lower court, high court, is being scanned for digital preservation. Apart from it, as you just mentioned, that now we have come up with the idea of issuing summons and warrants through digital mediums. In fact, just a week before, Rajasthan became the first state which has implemented issuing summons and warrant through digital mediums. High Court just initiated that project, and in the coming days we will see that other high courts will also implement that kind of services where most of the work will be paperless. It will certainly impact the speed of the justice as well. So we will cut down the usual paperwork, the usual long processes. Through an email or SMS, a person will be served any kind of warrant or summons to appear before the court. So we have come a long way if we compare it with the judicial working or courts functioning a decade before. In fact, Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, has always advocated that we must go forward to the e-court system. We must not rely on paperwork. In the past few years, we have seen that is being implemented in the Supreme Court. When it is applied at the topmost level, all other high courts will follow the same project, same kind of functioning. And in the coming days, most of the lower courts as well will use these IT services in their functioning on day-to-day basis.
All right, thank you so much, Vikas, for joining us and bringing us the latest on the current conference which is going on.